What's up, guys? Man. What's up, Roy? How you doing tonight, buddy? We're gonna get started painting this Phoenix. Just gonna put it together. Trying to think of the best way to do it, you know. What's a good brand of paints for 3D painting? I like Vallejo a lot. They're reasonably priced. I think they're really good right out of the bottle. You don't have to add a whole lot of water or fuss around with them too much. I really like Vallejo. I know a couple other paint brands like Army Painter. Their new model paint range is really good. A lot of people like AK paints. Too Thin Coats is super popular. What's the one that everyone absolutely loves? I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's oh, why is it? It's evading me right now. They're super fancy. They're the ones everyone's been telling me to use, right? Personally, I use basically all Vallejo except for contrast paints I get from Citadel, which are kind of your speed paints. I use Vallejo. I really like their new game color range. It's really good stuff. Really, really good stuff, man. Like right out of the bottle, it's smooth. It has a nice coat to it, which is sometimes difficult to get. You know, you're not having to recoat things a million times, you know? When I airbrush, I use my Vallejo paints. I just thin them down with a little bit of water, sometimes flow improver. But I even use their like Vallejo's what's it called? Their primer. Their white and black primer. I use that quite a bit. But yeah, that's kind of that's where my lane is. There's some like really good paint. I mean, 10 years ago when I started this, the paint was pretty mid. Wasn't a super big fan of Citadel. I'm still not a massive fan of Citadel. They need to kind of update their layer and base paints because they're just getting beat by the competition right now. How much water are you using to thin the Vallejo paints? I'll be honest, I legitimately, depending on what I'm doing, like if I'm doing glazing, I'll add a lot of water, right? Where I'm trying to do a bunch of really thin layers. But for the most part, I just generally let my wet palette kind of thin them naturally, you know? That's really usually what I'm doing, you know? Nothing crazy. maybe a droplet for like a nice, you know, fat amount. Just about the only thing I do. I'm very new to this. What is a wet palette? Okay, a wet palette, super duper important. This is the one I like. I'm just getting over a sinus infection, which I think was because of my old wet palette. It was full of mold. So, what's up, Johnny? Long time no see. How you doing, buddy? This is my favorite wet palette. It's called a Stay Wet Handy palette. So what this does, right, is this palette keeps all of your acrylic paints really moist. So, I mean, I can put this top on it, and it'll just keep forever. I mean, not forever, but I have revived so long as there's moisture in the sponge here. And this right here, there's nothing fancy about this paper. It's just parchment paper. But so long as the sponge stays moist, I've revived like 6-month-old acrylic paint. And it allows you to work with your paints, mix your paints, without them like instantly drying. Do you use brushes or airbrush on your work? I do both. So an airbrush is a fantastic tool, right? It's great. You don't need it. The best painting I've seen has always been by hand brushing. Every time hand brushing just beats out. So the airbrush is great for doing like really nice smooth transitions and getting like nice big coats of paint on, like the Hulk I have here. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you turn your camera sideways or your phone sideways, you'll be able to see a landscape of my video. But this is mostly airbrush, most of his skin there. Do you just put the paint on the wet sponge? No, so there's a little piece of parchment paper, just this stuff here. So this parchment paper, you just wet it, and it creates kind of a paint to water barrier, but it has enough I don't know, surface kind of tension on the water, and also a little bit of a barrier there that allows moisture through, but not like a ton. But yeah, pretty good. Been on a Sonic binge for a while. Oh, nice. I've never gotten into Sonic, but I know a lot of people are diehard for it. Very cool. I am just putting together one of my trash fast videos. So just give me a second. It's just to get some more people in here. Hopefully TikTok, it'll permeable enough. Yeah, that's the word. That's what I was looking for. Yep. Sometimes my diction doesn't follow my thoughts. My thesaurus is somewhere deep inside my brain. Let's see. All right, we are gonna save these changes and then we'll export and then we'll get to work. So what we're gonna do is this sweet Phoenix here, we're gonna pop together, and I don't know if I'm gonna fully glue it. I might work kind of in phases here, but I kind of want to put it all together for the main paint. You know, we're gonna do some cool like glow effects, make these wings kind of look like they're glowing with lava on the inside or fire, you know, something cool like that. Would be pretty cool if we got a war game based on Sonic Forces. I'm gonna take your word for it. I really don't know anything about Sonic, but I know that it would sell well. That's how big the community is. I know for it. Man, I would love to stay, but I got some work to do. Go ahead and hit me up again. Thanks for sure, Roy. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. What's up, Fluffy? All right, we're gonna let that load. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna get these posted. Down. Later, Roy. Till the next time, buddy. What's up, Alex? What's up, John? Oh, thank you for the follow. I sure do appreciate it. There should have been a sound for that. It's weird. Let me make sure this is. Oh, there it is. What's up, Morpho Butterfly? Very cool name. Very cool name. Okay, sorry, gentlemen and ladies. We are just getting started here. Once we just are getting the all the different things going, and then we're gonna rock it and get some stuff done. Alrighty. I do stream on other platforms, so if you're not interested in watching on the talk, check out my link in the bio, and it'll take you to somewhere else. I love art. I create art. Our last name is Morphew. Morphew? And I love the Morpho blue butterfly. Very cool. Very sweet origin. My last name isn't anything special. It's just another Irish name. I actually have 3 first names. I'm not going to say them because I don't want to dox myself. But they're all first names. It's like Ricky, Billy, Bobby. Morpho and Morphew sounds way cooler. No doubt about that. All right. Ours, it's Scots-Irish. Oh, nice. Some Gaelic origin there. That's a word that'll get you in trouble if you're not careful. That is a word that'll get you in trouble. I can hear you why. Yeah. I'm new to TikTok. It's great to connect with other artists. Yeah. That's the nice thing about, really nice thing about TikTok is it doesn't hide your content, if that makes sense. Like, it's very, very nice that it, brings people together. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, I just had to pull up the STL, make sure everything is copacetic. I am going to put this Phoenix together, and we are going to get to painting here. We're going to airbrush this. We're going to get most of the feathers done. I mean, the base coat of these feathers. Once I get them together, let's see, I don't think I need this. This is an extra. Was this an extra? Yeah. Okay. And let's see. We have this one. I believe this one was good to go. Yeah, this one was good to go. So we have this wing here. That's a tail feather. I have the base, although I'm not going to worry about the base right now. We're just going to get things moving. I think I'm going to fully glue these in. I don't see any reason not to. All right. Let's see. Where'd my glue run off to? I had a really big, nice glue, and I used it for that home project, so we'll just use one of these backups for now. All right, just you would be doing a Phoenix, very meaningful to my husband and I lately. Very cool. Little, rebirth from the ashes. Very cool. Nothing wrong with that. I'm 32, and apparently, according to my apprentices at work, I work in the trades, I am an unk, which is very cool. I say old things, and I don't think they're old. I don't feel like 32 is even old. So I definitely understand where you come from. Righteous. I always think of the turtle from Finding Nemo. Righteous! Alright, look how cool that is. That feather will be really... That wing set will be really fun to... man, I got glue all over myself just now. Man, you'd think I was a professional or something. I feel 27. I don't think I've ever grown up past, like, 17. I feel like at 17, I peaked and... Actually, I feel like I was probably more mature at 17 because I felt like I had to be, you know? Like, I just had... I'm 17. I know everything. But no. No. I basically stopped maturing at 17. If anything, I've dematured from then. Realize life isn't that serious, you know? Okay. Alright, we got that wing on. The problem is the wings are pretty heavy. Pretty heavy, man. Yeah. I was going to try and use some of this like poster board tack to see if I could temporarily have it set up, but I feel like that's going to be just a mess to deal with later. You know? Hey, Michael, I see you in here. What's up, buddy? You don't have to say anything. You can watch. You don't have to comment, my friend. You merely need to be here with me, Michael. So I definitely got a sinus infection from painting last time. I don't know if it was airbrushing or my moldy wet palette, but we're taking precautions this time because it was pretty brutal. Took a lot of time off work and just did not feel good. So this time around, we are going to be wearing this little face mask from my COVID days. This little American flag gator, and this is like tack board. It's for like posters and whatnot. Teachers use it a lot for like pinning stuff on whiteboards, but I was going to use it. It's just like kind of a stickiness, but I think I'm just going to glue these on. Maybe not fully send it with glue, but get it close to it. But now I got to remove all that gunk I put in there. That's the problem. What's up, Chris? Chris is gone, guys. Chris, you will be missed. But yeah, we're just going to get this gunk out of here. Let's get a little bit of a better view going on. Something like that. Boom. Thank you so much for the likes. What's up? What's up, partner? Righteous. Righteous. Alright, let's get some glue on here and just send it. Well, we'll dry fit it one more time. Make sure life's good. I'm going to just kind of loosely glue it. So in case I need to take it off, I can take it off without, you know, fighting it too much. This model has been provided by my friends here at Resin Reborne. Really cool guys. They're a couple, and they print and prep and ship some really cool models. They have a really cool library, and they're really nice to me. Nicer than they should be. I'm a bit of an artist delinquent, and they're very cool and very supportive. And I love them. But yeah, this model is to represent their company logo and everything. So we're going to give it the works. We're going to give it what it deserves symbolically. Where's my accelerant? There it is. Ah. Everyone tap the screen for hearts, and when the icon on the top left fills up, it'll explode with confetti and boost the host to get more views. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Alright, is that gonna come apart? Are we happy with that? A little light gluing. think the gunk is getting in the way, which is kind of what I was worried about. All right, get out of there, you little stinker. Little stinker. See you later, Stinky. I learned that last night. Right on. Yeah, I think if I get up to 1,000 likes, it'll throw me into the like general populace or something. But even if it's just you and me, that's a good time for me. And hopefully it's a good time for you too. Ba-dum-bum. Bum-bum, ba-dum-bum. All right, that's a little bit better. It's not a perfect glue job, but we'll make it a perfect glue job when we go to final glue it. That should come right off if I need it to. Excellent. Oh, no. It wasn't a good enough glue job. It's so stupid. Dang it. All right, that's okay. We'll get these bits off. I'm just trying not to like fully glue it. So I'm playing this little game here of how much do I need to glue for it to hold together for me to do my job, right? But not so hard that I can't get it apart later. That is the question. How much glue does one need, young Padawan? More glue, apparently. Stinkers that stick on are a pain. Yeah, dude. Some sticky stinkers out here, dude. I 100% agree. How you doing, Asher? Hope you're having a great night. Thanks for coming and hanging with us. Yeah, I'm trying to just glue it just enough that I can get to painting, you know? Because what I want to do is eventually ship this back to him, and I don't think it's wise to ship it completely as one piece. That's not very cool, right? So, here's for attempt number 2. Or 3. We're going on 3. But who's counting? Every time you try and glue on a section like this and you fight it, the more buildup of glue you have to remove. So I think this one's going to be good enough. Decent. Working on an Ichigo from Bleach myself. Nice. Are you doing Bankai form or are you doing his big Zanpakuto? Hey, I also know Bleach. I'm a giant nerd. Who knew? I have actually really been considering rewatching Bleach. I loved that show as a kid. And as a kid, I mean like 15 or 16. But that show's amazing. All right. Are you going to be friends? Are you going to go in as you should? Or are we going to have problems here, guy? We're going to have a problem? Looks like we're going to have a problem, Chief. Big sword. Nice. What is the beginning process for what this is? This is what I would call... I don't even know. Construction phase, I guess? Model construction? Paint prep? I call it prepping for paint. Because the thing is, I could just assemble this model. What I would do if I was keeping this and I wasn't going to ship this home to him, is I would more than likely just assemble it completely. And then once it's assembled, then I would just paint it completely. But we're going to do what's known as a sub-assembly paint. Usually you only do it if there's like a big cloak or something that's going to hide most of the model. But for
for this application, we are going to have to paint it in such a way that we can disassemble it, and then they can then final glue it at home. And hopefully, if I do it all right, it'll be pretty easy for them and really nice for me. Did you design it yourself or create it? No, absolutely not. So 3D modeling is a whole nother art, and I don't have it in me. I'm not a sculptor, I am a painter. And all of these models you can purchase off of their website and get your own version as well. But yeah, they support a bunch of the artists. They purchase business licenses from the artists themselves. So everything is done in support of the artist, which is the only way to do it. Sorry, I'm like doing this off camera. If you just Google Resin Reborne, it should pop up, and it's Reborne with an E. But yeah, they have a ton of models on there, and their collection just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which is very cool. And if they don't have something that you want, if you just let them know, they'll get it for you, I believe. You just have to email them. They're cool people. Yeah, you got it. What's up, Hobby Mini Painter? Speaking of rewatching, the final season is doing a special drop-in theater. Really? Are they still coming out with Bleach? I thought Bleach was not had wrapped up. I didn't watch it fully. I just assumed. That's crazy. I did not know that. What's up, Will? The currently legal loophole with selling models that you personally paint is that you are charging for paint time and materials. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you are constructing it to be a completely different... It's like purchasing paint, you know? You can't do anything with just paint. You got to use it to make art. It's the en masse thing. So if I was like en masse painting, I think there would be an issue. Like if I was, you know, printing off 100 Space Marines and then painting them with 2 paints, that's where it gets a little dicey. The legality, copyright and whatnot. And man, you do not want to be friends with your little nubby. What's going on here? Huh? Am I stupid? But yeah, I know that like generally 3D painters, or 3D modelers, they don't mind if you print and paint, right, to sell, because you're not necessarily like just printing and shipping it, which would be, you know, a lot easier to do. But if there is a bunch of like time aspect, plus you generally are like, when I do it, whenever I do a commission, I have them purchase the model, or I have them purchase the file and then send the file to me, or I will purchase the file and then have them pay for the STL file and the resin and the, you know, time and labor to build it, and then I'll start charging for my painting, unless they purchase the model and ship it to me, which is definitely another option. So I make sure that the actual 3D sculptor gets his due, you know. Yeah, these feathers, you're going to see, they're going to look really cool. I'm going to do a bunch of like really fun glow effects on the bottom of them and in all the cracks and whatnot. Make them look like they're on fire. You used to be able to do your own renditions of anything. Disney changed that with a copyright. Yes, I know. And YouTube's gotten even worse. And like other platforms, like you can't even hum a song without it getting what's it called? Demonetized. Noise. Yeah, selling the files, that's messed up, man. Or even just putting together like a giant file package and shipping around. I know that's kind of a problem. It's hard when you're selling a digital medium like that. I generally, if I really like an artist's models, I'll just join their Patreon, and then you get like all of their models like super cheap. You know? All right. I think that's going to be the best of it right now, just so we can get this show on the road here. Why does TikTok suggest a song, then later come back and say it's against their rules, etc.? Yeah. There's something weird about how TikTok gets around it. So I think, one, the artist wants their song to go viral on TikTok, and so maybe they like toss it in there to like be promoted as a like a free to use song, right? But then I think other times they want people to like pay for it, right? Oof, this is a big model. We're gonna have to zoom out here. Not gonna lie, I did buy one big set when I first started out, but having reversed that core sense, yeah. I mean, you don't know until you know, you know? Now you know. Life's okay. Life's not so serious. So long as they're artists. The artists, I mean, the really big ones, generally I only purchase and print from the really, really well done artists, just because a well sculpted model is just easier to paint, in my opinion. They're doing okay. They're doing great, you know. Ooh, come here. Don't you play games with me now, feather. Don't you play games with me. I know this goes here. It seems like it fits nicely. Get some activator on there. Sometimes in those big sets, the sizes are all messed up. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that they if you have a problem, you can quite literally go on their Discord or email them, and they will personally, you know, get in touch with you to help you out with whatever you need. I once wanted to spend about like $600 on models from one of these sculptors, and I just messaged her through Discord, and she just hooked me up with a 60% off discount code. She's like, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna buy that many, here." I was like, "Oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that." She's like, "Oh no, I like supporting artists," and I was like, "Very cool, you know, very cool indeed." All right, caca. So eventually, this will have a really cool base, and there's a kind of like a sorceress that goes with it as well, but that'll be a whole different portion of the painting. I could see this in the style as the angel Michael. Michael, the favored angel. The enemy of Lucifer. Morning Star. Alright, we're going to get to painting here. Once, let's see. No, we're just going to get to painting. Let's get the airbrush going here. Lucifer. Alright, every time I whip out this airbrush, I feel like it's just like, please clean me. Please treat me right. And I'm like, shut up. Shut up and work. You're nothing but a animal. An animal to be abused. My airbrush doesn't like me. We fight a lot. You know? It's kind of an abusive relationship, me and this airbrush. It's like, please, sir, I just want to rest. And I'm like, you will work. You will work now. Know what I mean? And then I complain about it. It's like, hey, I just need a bit of rest, sir, and a bath. I'm like, no. It won't work. We'll do as I say, boy.
Bro, I expanded the nozzle of my airbrush by accident. Now it lets paint by when it should be where. Ooh, that's a bummer. If you can ship the needle in, like just send the needle like further in. You can also buy a replacement nozzle. That it happens pretty often. I haven't done it yet, but I definitely can see it happening. That's hilarious. Well, thank you.
I'm here to entertain and astound. I'm like a painting clown.
Alright.
Okay. Gonna play nice? Or we're gonna have issues, Chief, huh?
Thank you. I was using this Vallejo red and it kept drying up quickly in the nozzle and clogging it. If you get like Flow Aid or Flow Improver, you can just buy a like, here's mine. But yeah, if you get Flow Additive, you can add a couple drops of water to your Vallejo paint and maybe a drop of that, and it reduces the like drying time. I mean, it'll still airbrush like normal, but it won't cake up or dry in your airbrush. Sometimes with those like high pigmentation colors, like, you know, black, red, blue, sometimes they like to do that on you. What do you use to film? I'm looking to go live with my watercolors at some point. I use an 8K webcam, Logitech, I think. Brio, I think is what it's called. It's like $200. I'm actually trying to save up to get a like $800, $900 DSLR camera where I can mount it on my ceiling and then zoom in with like 12K resolution. And then that way I don't get the out of focusing that happens just from my just with my setup, because this thing auto focuses, but it's kind of bad at it. Yeah, I want a DSLR. That's like the big fancy like professional grade photography camera. But yeah, right now I'm just using the Logitech Brio. I can get it on Amazon. I think they have better ones now. I bought this some time ago at this point. It's like $200. I was using a Vallejo air thinner. I used green and gold before and ran pretty okay, only on red. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, are you using their new game color range or are you using their model color range? Because I remember the model color range comes out a little thicker, a little more potent. But their game color, their new game color range is a lot more, it's smoother in my opinion. What printer are you rocking? I have a Mars 5 Ultra. I would love a Mars 5 Ultra. Well, actually, I want like the, whatever the new Saturn one is. But I have a Mono 5S Anycubic. It's a rapid printer. It prints really, really fast, which is what I like, but it kind of overexposes everything and I can't reduce the exposure. It just flashes. Ooh, the Jupiter. Yeah, dude. That's a good printer. No, the thing is, like, my printer, it's good and it does my needs, but honestly, Resin Reborne hooks me up nowadays. I hardly print my own stuff now. And I also recommend if you want to get into 3D printing, think of it as a hobby, not a
not a means of, like, I don't know. It is not easy to 3D print with a resin printer. You're going to come into problems and things go bad. So an Elego, you can get a Mars 5 Ultra used for 150 amp. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. These are the Mono X. It's been a workhorse. Nice. Yeah, my Mono 5S, I tried to buy cheaper resin for it, and I tried to get cute with it, and I burned a hole through my film, and I drowned the machine in resin, and I ended up having to, like, replace a lot of stuff on it. So I just use what they tell me to use now. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. I sure do appreciate it. No, my goal is just for it to work when I need it to work, but I'll be honest, if it breaks down again, I'm pretty done. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the party. But yeah, if it breaks down, I'm probably just going to upgrade to a newer model. It is pretty old. It's like now like 3 or 4 years old. I mean, that's not old, but in the 3D printing world, that may as well be an Edison phone or Edison bulb compared to LEDs. You know? Oh, gotta put the mask up. That's the whole idea, right? Welcome in, friends. What's up, John? I recently had issues with the FEP film, but once you know how to properly do it, it's all right. Yeah, I've replaced my film a couple times. I'm actually kind of worried. I should probably replace it again, but I'm also like, it's working, and I'm not getting any print failures. So, like, why get involved, you know? Are you gonna start clogging on me, huh? There you go. No, but I probably need to replace my film. I've probably done like 15, 20 bottles of resin through it. How long have you been on TikTok? It's been about, I won't say a year yet. I had to take a hiatus because my workload, my actual day job was getting to be pretty demanding. So I would come home kind of dead inside for a while. But yeah, it's been about a year. It's been really fun. Everyone I've met on here has been super kind and helpful and really fun to talk to. It's been great. Yeah, my experience on YouTube or on TikTok has been fantastic as a creator. Don't fix what's not broken. Exactly. I'm just waiting for it to break, though. I know it's coming soon. The reckoning is at hand. I've been spoiled for too long with it not breaking. You know? There's bad omens. You know, I see a storm coming. Winter is on the horizon. Winter is coming. Oh, this is going to be a unit of a model to paint. I'll tell you what. It's going to be fun, though. Should probably come up with a really smart way to hold it as I paint. We'll have to think about that tonight. You know, the pre-sleep thoughts. That's a perfect one. I'm going to bank that for later. I have an appointment with thinking of how to do this smartly. When your airbrush is not putting on a lot of paint on the Mini, would that be a clog or a weak compressor? So if it's not putting a lot of paint on, one, it's probably not fluid. Like your paint is a little too chunky. So the biggest thing is, one, get a nice air compressor. I mean, my air compressor costs like $150 and just came off Amazon. It has a tank and a regulator on it. I couldn't tell you the PSI I run. I think it's like 20 or 35% or 35 PSI or something like that. I don't know. But having control of the regulator really helps almost all of the problems. Because you can airbrush with a thick paint. You just have to play with the air regulator. I kind of thin my paints to exactly where I want them nowadays, and I just don't touch the air regulator. But early on, when I was having issues, I found having the regulator there to be the fastest way to fix most of my problems. But a lot of it, like if it spider webs out, like if I get close to the model and I go to spray and it just kind of like that, that's your paints are too thin, or your air compressor isn't going hard enough, and you need to increase the pressure, or you open the valve too much. A really good tip is to periodically just kind of like full bore it on the side on like a piece of like a paper towel like that. It'll clear the chamber, and so if it is going to have anything dry in it, it'll get rid of that before it's an issue. Woo! We're dropping paints. Yeah, having a tank should help that. What up, Grumpy Bear? What up, dude? Welcome in. My boy Resin Reborne. Come to look upon ye good works and marvel, boy. Oh, the wings are so big. I'm probably gonna do the Zenithal spray on this, and then I'll probably take the wings off to work independent. I'm glad I went with a light glue. Hopefully they come off pretty easily. I think they will. Oh, 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 bottom. You're gonna use red and orange over it? Yes. I'm gonna probably hit it with a really, really dark, rich, brownish orange. Because when you're painting red, you can't add white to it, right? So it's really important to start with a nice, dark, muted red, and then work up to like a blood orange eventually. And then from there, you move into your kind of yellow until you get to the more vibrant yellows. That's just the weird thing about red is there really is only like one color of red. Because anytime you add any kind of value change to it, you're actually adding a different color to it. So human beings see the least of red, like shades of red, and we see the most shades of green. And it's mainly because of like living in forests and eating plants, I believe. So, but red is not really necessarily a color you see in nature too often. It's not like imperative to your survival to see red, right? Generally, when you're seeing it, you're already probably bleeding out, or your friend is. So, but green's important so you can see different shades of plants that you want to eat, or if there's a snake in the bushes or something, you know, or in your boot. The last Phoenix I did, I also added hints of metallic blue and purple. So definitely, I'm going to do kind of a royal purple and gold trim on this Phoenix itself. And then on the model, I'm going to do, there's a little model that comes with this 3D print. And on that one, I'm going to do silver armor trim with kind of a blue cloak and fabric, I think. Oh! Are you dry enough to touch? You are. That's what I like about this primer. Oh no, dun, dun, dun. What's up, Alex? Welcome in, buddy. Welcome to the live. I know it's been a bit sporadic. I'm wearing a mask right now because I'm pretty sure airbrushing and my moldy wet palette got me sick recently. So we're not playing that game this time. So we got a mask, Alex. I love the enthusiasm.
It's nice to see Alex in the chat again. Okay. We're going to add some white to this airbrush cup. Maybe a little bit of water too. Where is my white? Oh, it's right here. Heck yeah. Fun fact, Walmart acrylic paints are decent primers because they are so crappy compared to actual paints. I actually don't mind doing enamel, the enamel paints you get like at Hobby Lobby, like the rattle can enamel paints. Those are really good primers. But the problem is enamel never, ever, 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 ever comes off, which is good for primer, but bad for everything else. But yeah, totally agree. Enamel's great. Fun fact. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Oh man, Alex, how you been? What have you been up to? Let's tap to get our host to 10K. I just learned about this and want to help. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. Take a break though. Don't let your thumb break. Okay. You're gonna get carpal tunnel going on here. It's almost time to get some new bottles of primer. These are running low and drying up. Get out of there, you stinker. Listen here, Stinky. There we go. Made a washer out of paint just now. Pretty cool. I have a turbo on my mouse. Oh yeah, dude, naturally aspirated with a turbo. I guess naturally aspirated is not a turbo. I'm a car guy, not that good of a car guy though. Okay, where is my brush that's been a bad boy? I use a brush that I hate to mix my wet palette. Oh, you've been a bad boy. Never throw away a bad brush, okay? They always have a use eventually. You will be the one to mix today, boy. My mouse is just naturally aspirated, is what I should have said. That's a way funnier joke. Man, I'm stupid. Stupid. I should have said that, guys. Welcome back, Hobby Mini Painter. Bad brushes make great shrub and leaf shapes. They do. That's true. I have a turbo on my mouse. Alright. Yeah, it's getting a little clumpy in there. I can feel it. I can feel it clumping. Listen, brother. The paint is not smooth, brother. I have to it is as if it is grout or aggregate added to it. This airbrush is not going to like this. I don't know if it's bubbly or if it's dying. Yeah, the dry highlighting. You know what I use for dry brushing is actually makeup brushes. So I buy them like in a giant Amazon, like $10 pack. I get like 100 of various sizes. Makeup brushes are the absolute best for dry brushing. That and like if they fall apart, then who cares? Life's good. Just move on. Okay, let's think this through. We want this to go a certain way. Now I'm thinking of Danger Mouse. Noise. Alright. Alright, this is how it's going to be standing, right? So we're going to hit it like this. Yeah, we'll hit it like this.
Yeah, this paint's dying, I can tell. It's leaving little nodules everywhere. That's okay. We'll work with it. You guys starting to see that contrast coming through? I don't airbrush yet, 100% hand paint. Honestly, airbrushes are a bit overrated, in my opinion. They're just nice. I like them mostly. I use them mainly for priming and then for like large surface areas. Like hand painting and getting a smooth gradient across like these wings would be a nightmare without one. So like definitely that's where it's worth it in my opinion, the airbrush for large surface areas. But I've said this a million times, but the best painting I've ever seen has always been pure hand painted, right? You just have the most control, and those artists that just do that kind of detail with just airbrush is wild. Airbrush is definitely not necessary to enjoy this hobby, but it sure does help make it funner. All right. Let's just hit the bottom side of these wings now. Oof. This just really, honestly, all this will be covered eventually, but what this does is just kind of give me a visual clue on where all the surfaces are, how the light is going to interact with the model, right? So it's, if anything, this is like the equivalent of like outlining. Come on, are you going to, there we go, kind of. Go. This just helps me to be able to see what I'm doing, you know? Make better decisions. Informed painting decisions. You know? Ooh, it is quite excellent. Yes, it's quite excellent. Isn't that the point of the fun toys to spend money on? It's very true. It's a quality of life upgrade when you do a lot of painting. It's definitely not necessary. Honestly, I kind of sometimes it can be a bit of a crutch. You can get really cool and easy effects with an airbrush, but once you get good at an airbrush, you can kind of spot where people just use it lazily, and you're like, oh yeah, that does look cool, but that's so lazy. You know, that took them like 10 minutes to do. Not saying that's bad. I'm not trying to like yuck someone's yum, but the really like impressive airbrush painters are the ones that that can do like the